Here's a garden update. These are some of my lettuces. They're called red romaine. Some of them are bigger than others, but surprised that they've come on so well. And just next to them are these beans, dwarf beans. Those are green ones there. These ones, which are not doing so well, are some sort of purple peas. But there's quite a few peas on there, and there are more flowers coming. So hopefully I've just taken the fleece off these carrots, and they look pretty healthy. I've thinned them out now, so I may get a good carrot crop. You never know. I'm not going to embarrass myself by pulling something out of the ground and finding there's nothing. My turnips, they're not all that big, but they're quite juicy and nice. This plant here is beginning to put out red flowers now. This is the asparagus pea. So I'll be very interested to find out what the actual pods are like. But it's encouraging that they're putting out flowers. Look at the earth cracking around that red onion. It's beginning to put on some weight now. So I think there's going to be a good crop of onions here. At least they look very healthy. This is my parsnips. They put on a lot of green stuff, and just next to it is this row of salsify. I put down some, what do you call it, shavings to keep the moisture in. So I think it may be working. And I've thinned these out now, so I'll be pulling some up. My shallots, you can see again the ground is just cracking round about them as they're beginning to put on some weight. So, but the tips are going all brown now, so they may be coming to the end of their growing season. And just next to them are some yellow Stuttgart onions, and they're not so big as the red onions, but I think they'll get a good harvest as well. And these are the little Japanese, I suppose you'd call them spring onions, and they've come on a bunch as well. I had 3 rows in there, but this coriander has just taken off. It's just so big now. So I think I'm going to harvest this row here and give those onions a chance. But it's lovely stuff, this. Really lovely. Num. Oh, this is my potatoes in a bag. The Rosamunda. And the whole box is filled up now with the potato shaws. And they're beginning to put out flowers, but the ones at the front, you can see there are some leaves dying off. I think it's because they get most of the sun. I've noticed these ones at the front they suffer more from being in the sun than the ones at the back, which are more in the shade. This here is a rusty tin can. I think I had some fleece over this at one time to protect it, and the cans were just to stop it putting holes. And there we go, these are the Cape gooseberries, and there are little buds there which are beginning to sort of form flowers. So they're a long way behind the ones in the greenhouse, but you never know, you might get some fruit off it if it goes another 2 months. And over here is the tomatoes that they're really taking off. Just beginning to make flowers on it over here as well. So, and I've mulched this. In the centre there are some beans. So that's about the length and breadth of the garden. Let's go and have a look at the greenhouse. And my one Cape gooseberry. Those wee sort of Chinese lantern type things. Those are the beginnings of the Cape gooseberry fruit. And there are flowers all over the place now, here in the greenhouse. So perhaps we'll get something from them. I don't know. But those are encouraging that they form these pods, and the fruit is inside that little cape. Once the cape sort of withers and goes that sort of fawn beige colour, then the yellow fruit inside are ready to eat. A bit late in the season, but I found these two zucchinis. One's a winter one, and or a winter squash, and one's a summer zucchini, down at the local Robin Hood. And I thought I'd give them a go here. You can see that the old leaves are this yellow, but the ones in the centre, the new ones that are coming out, are turning green, and there's the beginnings of a flower there. And this one here is beginning to put out little flower heads, and it's looking a lot healthier. So let's see what that happens. Warm weather and lots of water. Look at the height of those foxgloves now. They're nearly up to the top of the roof of the little shed. And some volunteer Californian poppies, which are nice. There's a patch of Sweet William there. The pink ones and lovely sort of dark. I don't know, that's a beauty. I love that colour on that one. And then behind it is all this things which you put into bridal sprays, and then some sunflowers which are beginning to put out some heads. Yeah. Long, thin, lanky one. I don't know what these flowers are. They've just, I think I might have collected seeds from somewhere and thrown them in here. But there's quite a few of them. And among these Sweet William, there's another one there. Big black seeds, if I remember correctly. That's what they make. And there is another volunteer poppy. Looks like there's quite a few of them coming there. And that's a scabiosa. That's what the flower should look like. Although I bought these to be blue and they've turned out white. Some more Californian poppies. This is done particularly well this year at the root of this big birch tree. It's got a massive flowers on it. I think it might be Johnson's blue. This is the other bed side of the house. And I'm not sure where these flowers came from, but they look quite nice. And then those daisies, and behind them the Alchemilla mollis, and over there in the drum the Hovinkoka. And I transplanted this Ligularia to the edge because it was just getting drowned in the centre. And these are the cornflowers just coming up. And this is the think it's Coultonalvis it's called, another ligularia. And these are the leaves. And from that stem there it looks like the flower head will be forming, and there should be a yellow flower. I'll be interested to see if that comes out like. It's the apples. I think there's far too many growing there. I've tried to thin them out, but I haven't done a very good job of it. There's just clumps of them all over the place. They're about 4 or 5 centimetres at the moment. I'll give them another month and some rain and they'll be ready. I was given these as a free packet of seeds and I planted them round about this border, and it never ever does what it says on the packet. It just looked incredible when it was growing, or the photograph they had in front of the packet. The spines are not as big or as beautiful, but there are lots of flower heads coming out on it. Every gardener apparently this year in Finland is growing this plant here. It's called stevia. It's an alternative sweetener, and it's not growing all that great, but I thought I'd give it a go. And these ones here are my basil, Thai basil. Planted them in 2 places, one down the bottom of the garden, and the wife went out and thought they were weeds and pulled them up. If you don't communicate and you don't tell one another what you're doing, then that's what happens. One man's basil is another woman's weeds.